Hello, viewers. Welcome back to the shop. And today's kind of a mishmash of things that I've done this week. Um, yeah, that's how do you like my needle holder? I think my daughter made that in kindergarten. So, yeah, it's worked out. Had it for a long time now, and I really like that. It allows me to keep all my needles in one place. So this week I had a couple repairs, and I should have made some video of the belt I repaired, but I did not. Short-sightedness on my part. This is a knife by a well-known knife maker, and unfortunately this back part is not the best design, but the customer wanted to keep it pretty original, and so behind here, this thong that keeps the knife in place was skived really thin, and the only thing holding the thong on was this rivet. And unfortunately, because it was skived so thin, it came undone, so there was a hole there. And the thong itself, the customer had used a screw. Yeah, I know, a screw, and they had screwed it into the belt loop because it had broken off. So they used just a regular screw and washer to hold that on. So what I did was, hang on, let me pause you while I take the knife out. So they wanted to keep the original snap, and so what I did was I skived the thong and added a new piece, and here you can see it's sewn, so you can actually see the repair. It's not quite as transparent as I wanted it, but the customer was happy with this repair, and that's what counts. I preserved the original decorative snap, um, and I was able to use the original materials for the belt loop and get it back on there. So that was one of the things I did this week. So I also worked this week on sharpening this oblong punch, and this is from a buddy of mine who's had this punch, I think, since I want to say he's had this punch since the 70s. Yeah, that's 1970s. I don't think he ever sharpened it or did any kind of work on it. So it's pretty dull. I've started the initial sharpening process where I've just taken a file and tried to get it oblong again. Um, this particular part of the punch was rolled over on this side. This whole side was rolled over. And then here in the middle on this side was also rolled over. And so I'm trying to get it even and also get a good edge on there. And I've pretty much got it working again to a certain extent, but it's by no means razor sharp. So you can see here that I'm testing as I go, as I sharpen up this oblong punch. So hopefully I'll get that done sometime this week and get it back to him. And this will be a tool that can go back in service, because ultimately these should last forever. I mean, this is a solid metal punch, and there's no reason that this should have to be thrown in the recycler, because that's, if you can't sharpen your own oblong punch, I'm sure there's somebody out there near you who looks for challenges like this, is looking to present their sharpening skills and on something unique. Definitely seek those people out. It's better to be able to pound on your punch and get a hole one time rather than to have to pound on your punch 10 times to get a hole. That's just going to be a huge time saver to sharpen those up. Let me show you what else I've been working on. So this is the Buck 110, and it's really a popular knife. This one's seen some years, some use, and at some point will probably get rebuilt. I'm looking for some antler or some bone side slabs for this. And then this is pretty deep. I'm not sure if I'll be able to take that out and still make it uniform, a uniform depth. I'm going to have to really work on that. But really, what I've been trying to do is come up with a traditional buck sheath as a replacement for these. And I don't know, maybe some people just misplace the sheath or they get beat up like this one. The belt loop comes off, but I'm trying to keep this close to the original as possible. And I'll soon have these for sale on my Etsy shop, Big Chief Leatherworks at Etsy. So I hope that if you're looking for a traditional type Buck 110 sheath, you should be able to order those off my Etsy site, and soon my Amazon site. I still have not set up my Amazon site. I'm waiting to get more product, although that's probably not a good plan. May post what I have on Amazon because those sales would really help me out. So that's my Buck 110 sheath. And I got one more update actually from last week and the week before that I wanted to do, because you may have watched my video about the Amir slicking wood and also the Tandy Jeweler's Rouge. So hang on just a second and I'll cover those. So here is the two of the three wood slickers I got from, I think it's Amir. I ordered them off Amazon. They were inexpensive. I had made a video about some people complaining that the edges were rough and were roughing up their leather. I did not have those issues when initially I went to go slick with this particular one. I didn't have any issues at all. And as you can see, now it's gotten patinaed with dye and wax. And this is every bit as good as my craft tool slicker. And so I use them indiscriminately. I mean, if this one's closer to my hand, I grab it. Or if this one's closer to my hand, I grab it. And I really cannot tell any difference in the two. So I had given this a thumbs up as something inexpensive to help you if you're slicking. This is a good buy. I did in fact use some 220 grit sandpaper to clean up a couple of the edges on this slicker that was also part of that set. And as you can see, it also has been used. I use this exclusively on a belt. The one thing you have to watch out for this one is that it will leave a line along the leather on the top and bottom sides. So if you're not up for having a line, probably better to use the more open channel on this particular slicker. But if you're going to use that line later to maybe stitch on your belt, that might be actually a good thing, so that you know where to stitch. But I used this one and I didn't have any problem with it. Everything I slicked turned out well. And if I didn't like the line, I could always go to this groove right here. So it's no problem. If you're looking for wood slickers, I would definitely recommend these that I picked up from Amazon. Next is this Tandy's Jeweler's Rouge, which I still have soaking in this Nathan's honing oil. It's actually it's called Nathan's Natural Honing Oil, and it's from Lansky, and it has softened up this brick of Jeweler's Rouge, and I now use this exclusively, and I like it. I can take a blade that's been dulled from cutting leather, that is taking a couple cuts to go through 5-6 ounce leather. I will put this on my strop, and yeah, I'll put it on my strop, and after about 10 or 12 strokes on each side of the blade, I'm ready to go again, and it will go through 8-9 ounce leather just like the blade was brand new. It's a bit of work. If you're into doing less work sharpening your tools, you may avoid this because you are going to have to soak it in something to get it loosened up so that it'll make a paste and go on your strop. And when you take this and shake off the excess oil, it will still have oil, and that oil will transfer to your strop leather. So depending on what you're doing, that may not be what you're looking for. In my case, it's worked out well, and I've been using it, and it's done a good job. So that's one of those up to you buys. If you're into less work, I would not recommend this. If you're into doing a little work and using elbow grease to get your tools really sharp, then yes, I would recommend go for it. But you are going to spend probably a little more time working with it than you would just a normal Jeweler's Rouge. All right, so I hope I helped somebody out. I'm looking for comments, subscribers. So if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Comment. I try to answer comments generally on a daily basis, so I look forward to interacting with people. This is John from Big Chief Leatherworks. I'm out.